tell you, it's really great being here. I'm actually a little overdressed for this, looking out at the audience. Not a problem. These are the same clothes I wore to work. I threw the jacket over the top. We talked about this, that sustainable energy systems, that is not a misspelling. It's actually a play on words from the fact that we make synthetic fuels from waste material, from solid waste material that we use to fuel electric generators. Okay. Now, what I want you to think about a little bit as I go through this is sort of the extreme. Think about Puerto Rico, where Puerto Rico is right now, and the problems they've had over the last month or so. That's right. Basically, we're at somewhat of an intersection between two markets. One is the waste market. What are you going to do with all the solid waste we have? We have a situation where landfills are closing. They need to expand. It costs a lot of money to take and do that. There are regulatory issues with that. What we have come up with is a rotary gasification system. Now, this is a portable, scalable rotary gasification system that can literally take this waste and produce a fuel that we can put into generators to produce a clean energy, hence the electricity. So again, the intersection of these two markets, the clean energy market, which is about $200 billion, that's figures from March 2016, and the solid waste disposal market, of which both of these are growing markets, incidentally. Even though these numbers are a little on the old side, that 11.7 has gotten much, much higher as far as the portion of the marketplace for the waste disposal industry. Now, what I want to stress is that we're starting with the waste disposal industry for a couple reasons. One is because they already have permits to do this type of thing. So that sort of takes care of one of the hurdles we can work with for other applications in the meantime. However, beyond that, again, I said think about Puerto Rico. But any place where you have a facility that has waste that has to ship out, that has a need for electricity, it could be a college campus, it could be an industrial facility, it could be a large apartment complex in New York City. The sky's the limit. So there's a much greater market other than our initial one. These are basically the pluses in both of these two areas. What I really want to stress is, because I'll be talking about these two quite a little bit, is that unlike other gasification technologies, we don't require any type of feed prep. We can literally take the garbage bags the way they are, the way they come off the truck, jam them into this unit, and that's it. We don't have to dry them. We don't have to shred them. So we don't have to take and worry about providing energy for those processes. In addition to that, as far as the waste to energy goes, we have the ability to reduce the volume of the waste down to 90+%. And the neat thing about it is in that reduction, we found that the ash that we produce actually is recoverable. We found it actually has pozzolanic properties you can use in building materials. So, the value proposition. For the solid waste facilities in general, it generates revenue. They're already getting tipping fees for things like plastics and rubber that you really can't treat effectively by other means. AD, anaerobic digestion, which is really, really big right now in Massachusetts, primarily for the high moisture wastes, such as food waste, can't touch either of those or cellulosic waste. We can. So they're actually getting paid for the raw material, and they're either utilizing the electricity themselves or they're selling it. Now, this saves money as soon as you start talking about other facilities besides the solid waste industry. One of the really big ones is this concept of peak shaving. If you look at this little graph I have over on the left-hand side, effectively what that amounts to is that generally a facility will pay a stock amount rate for a maximum amount of electrical power, and as soon as they go over the top of that, that's considered to be a peak, and they pay to the nose for that. Our college campus alone pays as much as $40,000 a day for peak. If you can shave that peak, you can actually pay for the system in a relatively short period of time. And then, of course, microgrid applications. This will work very, very well with other renewables. The nice thing about this is that it doesn't require wind, it doesn't require solar. When the solar and the wind is off, because of the fact that we can start up and shut down relatively quickly, you can actually use this like it's a battery. So when the other ones aren't working, this thing can kick on. It does the same thing for the peak shape as well. Our management team, basically sort of a thumbnail Reader's Digest condensed version of this. Steve Myers and myself have been working for years together. We've been in two startups, one of which was successful, one of which is not. You can't win them all. We actually sold that one. Dave Wage, who is the actual inventor of this system, we credit to be the inventor of the system, is sort of a world travel troubleshooter for F.L. Schmidt before he came to us, and did a lot of work on their newer technologies and making sure they worked on a worldwide basis. So, traction. Before I came here, about 3 days before I came here, I had to change this slide because they said that we were the front runners for this military grant. We actually were awarded it on Friday, so we have a $1.6 million research grant from DoD to put this system in at U.S. Military Academy West Point and actually demonstrate that it works for their purposes. So that's a 2-year contract. Mixed blessing. I was going to have a Merry Christmas. I think I've been working over Christmas. I'm going to try not to. We also have, we're trying to attack the commercial market. We do have a first customer in Madison County. They're basically, they want one of these units to take and get rid of their waste tires and their waste ag plastics, which are considered dirty plastics. Can't recycle them. And they're going to take and power their waste recycle facility. Now, I put down spreading by word of mouth because it actually has. I mean, this is crazy. It seems like every 2 weeks I'm giving a presentation on this. We've got another one on the 14th now, and it's to a statewide organization that's trying to decide what they're going to do with recycled plastics. Now that China won't take them anymore. So they're interested in this system as being maybe a possible solution for recycling plastics in the absence of China being in the marketplace. So, the opportunity. As I mentioned, what we're looking to do is we're looking to see to get the word out to the other ends of the marketplace. We're doing a reasonably good job talking to the solid waste industry, at least in New York State. We're sure that'll push beyond. We've talked to people from Casella. We've talked to people from Waste Management. They're all interested. But we'd like to see what type of interest we get in other organizations, industrial concerns for both, either or both peak shaving and the microgrids. And in addition to that, I'd like to take and drum from any investor interest just to start those dialogues. Up to this point, we've done everything on grants. And that is my contact info. And if you want to see this puppy work, that's actually the tail end. That's the only moving part, the tail end of this thing. It's actually a sealless system. So the only place air goes in at the bottom, and there's actually a bed there at 2200 degrees Fahrenheit that instantaneously gasifies any solid. It's sort of like when you go from ice to water to vapor, you skip over the water part. You go right from the ice to the vapor with this thing. And the air gets consumed in the bed before it ever gets to the gas out, so that will keep the oxygen out. Questions? Any questions?